Something inside you is reaching a breaking point, and the sense that everything around you is about to shift is stronger than ever. Chosen ones, this is no accident. When God orchestrates massive change, it often happens in the blink of an eye, ready or not. But let me assure you, you are ready. Stay with me for at least 12 minutes, and you'll witness a confirmation so powerful, it'll leave you wondering why you ever doubted it. Right now, like this message, subscribe and comment 77 below to tell the universe you're open to this next wave of transformation. After you've done that, leave a second comment. Ready for what's next, in your own natural tongue. The moment you do, prepare yourself for tangible evidence that your life is catapulting forward at a pace you've never known. Chapter 1. You feel the tension building beneath the surface. You walk around each day sensing that something electric is pulsating just out of sight. It's like the air around you is charged, and your own spirit can't stop buzzing. At times, this tension makes you feel restless, unable to sleep, prone to sudden bursts of emotion, or even random moments of tears. That's the weight of impending change pressing down on your soul, urging you to wake up and stand at attention. You're not hallucinating. What you feel is the sign that you're on the brink of a groundbreaking shift orchestrated by God. This is the threshold moment that chosen ones experience when a season of stagnant waiting morphs into accelerated manifestation. When you look back on your life, you'll notice there have been other times you felt a spark of anticipation, perhaps before a major move, a dramatic relationship twist, or the birth of a dream you nearly abandoned. But this time is different. This time, the tension doesn't just whisper, it roars. You're probably noticing odd synchronicities. A certain number sequence keeps popping up, or maybe a friend mentions exactly what you were praying about. These are not coincidences. They're breadcrumbs from the divine, guiding you toward the door that's about to fling open. Even so, the human side of you may hesitate. You wonder if you're just imagining it all, or if you're stepping out of line by creating something bigger. Let me remind you, chosen ones were never meant to shrink into mediocrity. God places the seed of greatness in your spirit, and sometimes it grows so quietly you barely notice. But then comes a surge, a sudden, uncontainable energy that tells you to get ready, because your life is about to change in ways you can't reverse. That tension you feel, it's like the final tremor before the earthquake of blessings arises. Embrace the tremors. They are your sign to prepare, to brace yourself for the magnitude of what's coming. People around you might sense you're more distant or preoccupied. They don't see the spiritual undercurrent you're navigating, so they may misunderstand your moodiness or newfound focus. But that's okay. You don't need to explain what God is doing in your life to everyone. Your spirit is receiving advance notices of what's to come, and not everyone is equipped to interpret that signal. That's why many chosen ones walk a lonely road when big change approaches. Understand this. Your solitude isn't punishment. It's preparation. It gives you space to anchor your faith, to ground yourself in prayer, and to ready your heart for the blessings about to explode onto the scene. So if you've been feeling the tension building, take heed. The spiritual radio frequency you're tuned into is picking up signals of a massive shift. You're about to see doors open that you didn't even know existed, and each door will usher in more confirmation that your calling is real. When you look back on this moment, you'll realize the tension was your spirit saying, "Something amazing is at hand." This is the calm before the storm, but this storm isn't devastation, it's destiny. Chapter 2. Your faith sets the acceleration. You're wondering why some people pray and wait for years, while others appear to receive their breakthrough almost overnight. The truth is, faith is the accelerator for chosen ones. You can't bypass the challenges or the timing God has set. but you can expedite the momentum by anchoring yourself in unwavering belief. Think of faith like a powerful engine revving beneath you. The stronger your conviction that what God promised is truly yours, the faster you surge toward that promise. Yet, faith isn't a magic wand you wave to make all your problems vanish. It's more like a sturdy pair of hiking boots that keep you climbing, even when the path is steep and rocky. You've likely faced adversities that tried to crush your faith, betrayals, rejections, sudden losses. Each of those events tested your resolve. Would you cave under pressure, or would you dig deeper into the assurance that God's plan trumps any temporary setback? Every time you chose the latter, your faith muscle grew and your spiritual acceleration kicked up another gear. You might recall times you prayed small, timid prayers because you feared disappointment. But in this season, God is challenging you to pray audacious prayers, prayers that make your logical mind scoff. That's impossible. Why? Because chosen ones are meant to do more than just survive. They're meant to show the world that the impossible is simply uncharted territory waiting for faith to claim it. You may not see an immediate shift the moment you pray, but rest assured, the supernatural machinery is already in motion, aligning opportunities, rearranging circumstances, and preparing you for the exact future you dared to speak into existence. Faith also serves as your defense against the naysayers. People who see you stepping out of your comfort zone might label you as foolish or unrealistic. They don't realize that your external steps are fueled by a divine promise they cannot perceive. Sometimes God intentionally keeps your blueprint hidden from the people around you to protect your seed of faith from being trampled. But chosen ones don't need the crowd's approval. They only need God's assurance, which reverberates deep inside their core. It's that inner knowing that says, "Keep going. You haven't seen anything yet." If you feel like you've been stuck at a red light for too long, ask yourself if your faith needs a recalibration. Have you been leaning on your own understanding or truly surrendering to God's plan? Often, our impatience can masquerade as faith, but real faith includes patience, trust, and an unwavering stance that, despite the clock ticking, your promise is already signed, sealed, and delivered in the spiritual realm. When you stand in that kind of faith, the light eventually turns green with such force that you find yourself catapulted forward, crossing distances in days that took others years. This is not about competition. It's about recognizing that your journey is divinely orchestrated and powered by a different fuel altogether. So decide now that you will put your doubts on hold and let your faith do the driving. God moves for those who believe before they see the evidence. In the world's eyes, that makes you naive. In heaven's perspective, that makes you unstoppable. And unstoppable is exactly who you need to be right now, because your life is about to change, and it's going to happen fast. Chapter 3. You're standing on the edge of accumulated blessings. You look around and wonder where the fruits of your labor have gone. You've sown, you've sacrificed, and you've endured, but the harvest has been elusive. Don't mistake the silence for inactivity. Chosen ones often experience a gestation period where blessings accumulate behind the scenes until the appointed moment. Right now, you're standing on the edge of this reservoir of blessings, and God is about to tip it in your favor. So suddenly you'll be both stunned and overjoyed. Think of a river blocked by a dam. Upstream, the water builds and builds, but the flow downstream remains minimal. That dam is your last season, full of lessons, trials, and hidden breakthroughs. You've been storing experiences, wisdom, and spiritual credit that couldn't yet be released. But as soon as God decides that the fullness of time has come, He breaks that dam, and everything you've been waiting for rushes forward in a flash flood of grace, opportunity, and favor. Yes, it might feel overwhelming, but it will also be undeniably triumphant. A major reason for this delay is your character development. God is less interested in quick fixes and more invested in shaping you into someone who can carry the weight of future blessings. If he had opened the floodgates too early, you might have squandered the resources or let pride derail your progress. Those painful nights you spent questioning your worth. They were forging humility and clarity. Those days you had to walk in faith with nothing but a hope and a prayer. They were teaching you to rely on God alone, not on your own limited understanding. Now you've arrived at a maturity level where the blessings can finally serve your destiny instead of sabotaging it. Look back on your recent past and you'll see the subtle hints, the apology from an old friend, the job offer that fell through because something better was waiting, the random person who reached out at exactly the right time. None of these are accidents. They are small keys unlocking the dam. Each act of forgiveness, each moment of healing, each leap of faith was another crack forming in that barrier. And here you stand, chosen one, at the threshold of a monumental release. When it comes, it won't trickle, it'll pour. People might think you're an overnight success, but only you and God know the countless nights you cried yourself to sleep, the days you toiled without recognition, the humiliations you endured in silence. What's about to happen is not luck, it's recompense. Understand this, God is a just ruler, and He's seen every seed you've planted, every tear you've shed. The time for divine repayment has arrived, so brace yourself. Once the dam bursts, it will feel like life is moving at hyperspeed. You'll be tempted to doubt it or question if you truly deserve it. Silence those doubts immediately. You deserve this because God decreed it, not because you're perfect. Step confidently into this new reality, ready to steward your blessings with gratitude, generosity, and divine wisdom. The wait is over, chosen one. The tide is changing, and it's bringing you more than you ever imagined. Chapter 4. You must release control to harness velocity. You like to plan every detail, to chart each step before taking it, but the acceleration you're stepping into doesn't always allow for perfect planning. Sometimes, God's biggest moves happen in ways that defy logic, upend schedules, and demand instant obedience. If you're too rigid, you might miss the turn entirely. Control is comfortable, but comfort zones don't make history. You, as a chosen one, are called to blaze a trail, not follow a predictable script. It's normal to want certainty. You've been hurt before, let down and disappointed. You told yourself, "Never again will I be caught off guard." So you built walls of control around your heart and your future. But here's the twist, the miraculous thrives in uncertainty. The very act of letting go can trigger the breakthroughs you've been praying for. When you loosen your grip, you give God room to flex His infinite creativity. Look at the stories that have inspired you. Rarely do heroes have the luxury of a detailed roadmap. They often step into the unknown, guided only by faith or a deep feeling. This is exactly where you find yourself. Like Abraham leaving his homeland without knowing his final destination, you're embarking on a journey that demands blind trust. You can plan and strategize to an extent, but at some point, you must let faith be your compass. Ironically, that's when you'll see that God has already aligned the path with divine appointments and unexpected resources. When you're controlling every variable, you run the risk of limiting God's involvement. It's akin to telling the Creator of the universe that you've got it handled. How many times have you tried forcing a situation to unfold your way, only to end up more frustrated? Consider that maybe, just maybe, your plan pales in comparison to the blueprint God laid out for you. In letting go, you free yourself from the bondage of micromanaging outcomes. You start to flow with a pace that seems unreal, a cosmic velocity that only chosen ones experience when they surrender. This doesn't mean you become passive. Letting go of control is different from doing nothing. It's an active stance of trust, making moves, yes, but leaving space for divine recalibrations. You might find that you're prompted to move across the country at short notice, or to leave a job that's been stable for years. These leaps can terrify you, but they often lead to unimaginable rewards. Those who cling too tightly to the familiar can miss the chance for exponential growth when it arrives. As you stand on the precipice of rapid change, remember that controlling every outcome won't expedite your blessing. Often, it delays or diminishes it. By releasing control, you align with a higher rhythm, God's rhythm, where your steps are ordered in ways you couldn't orchestrate on your own. So let go of the wheel, chosen one. Shift into the passenger seat for a moment and watch how swiftly God drives you toward your destiny. It's a wild ride, but it's the only way to truly harness the velocity of the season you're entering. Chapter 5. Your circle must reflect your destiny. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. This saying holds special weight for chosen ones. In a season of rapid transformation, your environment either pushes you forward or holds you back. God is ready to work mightily in your life, and you need companions who embrace miracles, not cynics who roll their eyes. You're under no obligation to keep relationships that drain you. Though distancing from old friends or relatives may sting, your God-given mission is at stake. Picture an eagle that soars where other birds can't breathe. As you rise, some around you won't handle the altitude. They might try to pull you down, question your optimism, or make subtle remarks that breed doubt. Often they're acting from fear, stuck in comfort zones they can't see past. But you can't afford to remain grounded when breakthrough beckons. Pause and evaluate your circle. Who cheers on your vision and who belittles it? Who prays with you rather than preys on your insecurities? This shift in your life is unfolding quickly, leaving no time to counter every criticism or justify every dream. Surround yourself with those who speak life and elevate your faith. If some relationships need new boundaries, that's okay. You're not discarding people, you're safeguarding your destiny. Later, once you're established, you may return to help if they're open. For now, your priority is staying aligned with God's plan. Guard against arrogance. Humility remains vital. But so is selectivity. Not everyone can journey into a season of rapid acceleration if they lack the spiritual stamina or willingness to grow. This isn't about devaluing them. It's about respecting the call on your life. Dragging along resistant people drains you and risks the momentum God wants to give you. Use discernment. Observe how people react when you share your heart. True supporters may not always agree with you, but their challenges sharpen rather than tear you down. They celebrate your victories, even if they're not winning themselves. They empathize with your struggles, never exploiting them for gossip. Seek out this faith-filled community, people who grasp the stakes at hand. Never underestimate unity's power. When like-minded believers unite, miracles multiply. Right now, you need every ounce of synergy to keep pace with the blessings pouring in. Be bold in choosing who stands by your side. As you soar higher, release the dead weight that might hold you back. The company you keep either elevates or hinders you. Choose wisely. Your destiny depends on it. Chapter 6. You're nearing the point of no return. You may feel excitement mingled with fear, like standing on a high diving board, toes over the edge. Once you leap into this new life, there's no turning back. You might glance behind you with nostalgia or doubt, but your spirit is committed to a one-way journey. You've spent enough time circling indecision. God is calling you to jump into the unknown, where your destiny awaits. As a chosen one, you've already glimpsed moments of extraordinary clarity or miraculous provision. Those instances were a preview of the life you were meant to live. Now comes the real thing, a level so expansive that old rules no longer apply. The pace will quicken, stakes will rise, and rewards will multiply. Yes, it's scary, but fear can ignite bravery when tempered by faith. Approaching this point of no return often stirs unexpected resistance, maybe conflict at work or a sudden financial hiccup. Recognize these as last-ditch efforts to tether you to the old. The enemy loves using distractions right before a massive leap. Let these challenges confirm that you're close to breakthrough. Keep moving forward despite the noise. Once you leap, you'll discover God's hand waiting to support you. Doors you never knew existed doors will swing open, and people aligned with your purpose will appear. Divine timing becomes your new normal. But old coping mechanisms won't function in new territory. Habits like procrastination or self-sabotage will stall your progress. This environment of breakthrough demands discipline, flexibility, and humility. This juncture also requires you to see yourself differently. You're not a bystander hoping for a better future. You're a key player in God's plan. Your voice, talent, and vision matter deeply. Maybe you spent years in the shadows, unsure of your worth. Now you're summoned to step into the spotlight. Yes, that spotlight includes responsibility, but it also holds immeasurable reward, living daily in alignment with your calling and bearing witness to God's goodness. So, gather your courage, chosen one. The diving board shakes beneath you because destiny is propelling you forward. Look down if you must, but lift your eyes to the horizon of possibility. Let go of the railing, bend your knees, and leap into the adventure. Once you're airborne, you realize the scariest part wasn't the jump, it was the thought of never leaping at all. Chapter 7. Your rapid shift starts. Now you've prayed, you've waited, and you've battled it out. Now the gates are opening, and the surge of energy you've been building is ready to flood your life at full speed. This isn't just talk of change, it's change happening right now. Every second matters, and your willingness to act will determine how swiftly blessings unfold. Pause and remember your journey. Every heartbreak, every setback, every tear was shaping you for this pivotal moment. God doesn't waste your pain. He turns it into purpose. Your scars are proof that you survived what aimed to destroy you. Now, you're done surviving. It's time to thrive. You're stepping into a realm where dreams materialize faster than fears can tear them down, where time seems to warp in your favor. People may notice an extra spark in your eye, a glow of confidence and expectation. If they ask what's different, it's because God's anointing is evident. Your energy is changing because your spirit is ready for what's next. You might feel both peace and excitement, sensing something monumental is about to happen. That feeling is spot on. Right now, speak your intentions boldly. Words carry tremendous power. When you declare, "I'm entering a season of overflow," you issue a call to every spiritual and physical force around you. Proclaim, "My breakthrough is here, my transformation is certain." Then act on those words. If you're prompted to begin a project or reconcile a relationship, do it. If you must walk away from toxicity or extend forgiveness, obey quickly. Each step of obedience accelerates the shift. As you ride this wave of change, stay humble. Give thanks to God for perfect timing and align your heart to serve. Pride can trip up even the strongest person, so never forget who paved the way for you. Look for opportunities to uplift others on your path. Blessings multiply when shared. Chosen ones, your rapid shift begins now. It's no distant dream or hazy prophecy. The stage is set, the curtain lifted, and your role unfolds at high velocity. Each morning, wake up expecting miracles. Each evening, count today's blessings. Once the momentum builds, it won't stop unless you slam on the brakes. So don't hold back. Step forward, speak life, and embrace the avalanche of opportunities heading your way. Your life is changing, and it's happening fast.